Victor Wembanyama makes his Madison Square Garden debut as the Knicks host the San Antonio Spurs on Wednesday night. There's been a lot of talk around the rookie phenom's early NBA career. So let's break down some Wem Mania. We're going to do it with Teague. She's the host of the League of Her Own pod, one of the best voices around San Antonio sports. And she joins me now. Carolina, how's it going?
It's going great. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really excited.
No, glad to have you, Carolina. I had to talk to you because I'm a big fan of the NBA. We talked about this before, and Wem Mania is sweeping the NBA, so I had to talk to you about it. And Carolina, it's been just 7 games into the career of Victor Wembanyama, but what has it been like for you experiencing Wem Mania up close, and what do you make of the start of his NBA career?
It's been a total 180 from the city of San Antonio, from the time before he was drafted to the time now. Before he was drafted, you could hear a pin drop at the AT&T Center. There wasn't that many people in the stands. It was kind of becoming a little bit of a grim scene inside the locker room. And with Wemby coming around the corner, he totally changed the landscape for the city of San Antonio. It seemed like our city became revitalized, re-energized, and he brought that special presence to San Antonio that the Spurs were so desperately needing. And what better person to develop an international player as incredible as Victor Wembanyama than Coach Greg Popovich. So I feel like it was a perfect storm, having a tanking season and being able to draft Wemby out #1. So it's been awesome.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt that San Antonio is a city, the organization, they are absolutely happy about landing Wemby, and he's just a phenomenal talent from what we've seen thus far. But talking about phenomenal talents, a lot of phenomenal talents in the NBA, they like to play at the Garden, and playing at the Garden is something that many players in the league, especially stars, they love to do. What do you expect Big Vic, as I like to call him, to show us the first time he plays at the world's most famous arena tonight?
Well, he actually just said in the shoot around this morning that he is actually really excited to play at the arena because this is a huge historical landscape for the NBA, and he's excited to play at the Garden. He thought it would be a little bit bigger, but he more than ever is more excited to play at such a historical place, and he's more than prepared, and he thinks it'll be a great matchup against the Knicks. So I'm excited to see what Wemby does. I say expect a lot of great defensive plays, blocking, Wemby posting up, and I like to see the Trey Jones to Victor Wembanyama lob that I've been seeing throughout the season. So expect some of that too.
Okay, a little Trey Jones to Wemby alley-oop action at the Garden. Fans might see that. I'm glad you didn't even talk about the offense. The defense is what's really impressed me with him, and I think we will see a lot about that. He's been racking up the blocks, so that's been interesting. With Wemby, Carolina, fans have already been enamored by both his size and his skill level. 2 things here for you. One, how good do you think he can be? And he's also talked about wanting to compete for championships. How soon do you see that happening with him in San Antonio?
Honestly, the sky is the limit. Victor Wembanyama, seeing him at the Summer League and seeing the way he talks and listening to the things he says, he is 100% focused on the NBA and winning championships. If you don't remember, he was invited to a huge party for a celebrity billionaire and decided to decline that invitation at Summer League because he wanted to focus on resting and getting well for the NBA. So championships are his priority, and having the San Antonio Spurs around him, there is a possibility for them to develop. They're a very young team. Devin Vassell is currently out for tonight. He's also the second best player on the team with Wemby. They're a great combination together. So it's going to be, you're not going to see the best that they can possibly do with Devin Vassell missing from the team tonight. But I do think that as they develop in about 2 to 3 years, you're going to see some star power and Wemby's development, and I'm excited for the future.
All right, there you go. Teague putting the league on notice. Watch out for Wemby in a couple of years in the San Antonio Spurs as they try to build back towards championship contention. That's Teague. As I said, she's the host of the League of Her Own pod. As I said, one of the best voices around San Antonio sports. Carolina, thank you for joining me. Appreciate you. Good to see you. We will connect again soon.
Good to see you. Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.